Hi again, class. This is your rounding decimal numbers tutorial, and it's going to sound a lot like the rounding whole numbers tutorial because essentially it follows the same rules except with decimals. Answering the question why again is to estimate and give us easier numbers to work with or understand. So for example, say for example I was to have done a really accurate measurement of myself, and I was able to tell you that I was 167.32995 centimeters. That's really specific. It's too specific for me to even wrap my head around again. I would much rather understand my height in simpler numbers or rounded numbers, so 167 centimeters if I was to round that to the nearest ones, or even to the nearest tenth, 167.3 centimeters. I can handle these numbers a lot more than I can deal with those numbers, that large number right there. So when we look at the steps to round decimal numbers, it's really the same types of steps that we would to round whole numbers. We're going to find the place value you need to round. We are going to look to the digit to the right. We are going to round up if it's greater than 5, or round down if it's 4 or less. So let's put this back into action here. Let's say that Nathan was 122.79 centimeters, and I wanted to round that because I still wanted an easier number to work with. I'm going to use the same rules that we've worked with before. If it's 5 or greater, we're going to round up, or 4 and less, we're going to round down. So let's go through these steps. Find the place value you need to round. So let's say I wanted to round it to the nearest ones. We have to find the ones place value, the nearest centimeter, ones place value. So this is the hundredths place value right here. Then the one right beside the decimal is tenths. And here is the ones right beside the decimal right here. So rounding to the nearest ones, I found the place value I need to round. I underline it. I always underline it to keep track. I look to the right. The digit to the right is a 7. It's a tenths. It's a 7. It is definitely 5 or greater. So I'm going to round up. I round up if it's greater than 5. So the 2 will now change to a 3. So my rounded number becomes 123. I can put 0.00 if I want. It's equivalent. Or I could just write down 123. And that is my rounded number to the nearest ones. Let's say I wanted to round another height. Let's say Logan was 143.46.24 centimeters, and let's say I wanted to round it to the nearest tenth. I want to be a bit more specific this time. So let's find it, hundredths, tenths, right here. I underlined the 2, and I look to the right, and I notice, oh, it's 4 or less. So I'm going to round down. So in this case, if I round down, instead of 24 going up to 146.30, it actually goes down to 146.20. So I'm rounding it down to 146.20. So the answer would be 146.2 or 0.20. So we can get into a bit of a word problem here. Let's say Mason threw a frisbee. Doesn't like my spelling of frisbee. 26.73 meters. And we want to round this distance to the nearest meter to figure out the approximate distance. So 26.73. I'm going to write that data in. I always like to find the data in the question. In this case, 26.53 meters. And I have to round the distance to the nearest meter. Okay, so that means it's the ones if it's the nearest meter. So let's find the ones place value, hundredths, tenths, ones. Here it is, underline it. It's a 6 here right now. I have to look to the digit to the right. In this case, it's 7, it's 5 or greater. So I'm going to have to round this underlined place value, digit 6, up. I have to round it up, so the next digit up, the next number up is a 7. 27. So my answer would be 27 meters. Pretty far, Mason.